Pity my heart, it was because of that light in the day. Pity my heart, it was because of that light in the day. Pity my heart, it was because of that light in the day. Close, stay, longer, walk, sky. Pity my heart, it was because of that light in the day. Close, stay, longer, walk, sky. Pity my heart, it was because of that light in the day. Close, stay, longer, walk, sky. Pity me, beauty, passed away, feel thick, years go by. And pity my heart for the wanting of the moon. Every time goes out to see, man desires life. Hush, so soon, longer, look with love. Me, this I've known. Always love more than wild blossoms to win. Sail, then tides tread, shifting shore history. Need for the wreckage of the gathering. Get the gift of the pity, need for the heart, for the slow to learn. For the disbeat, the swift in the mind, beholding it every turn that I make. Every move, every breaking, akin to the sorrow. Borrow my heart and never give it back. For they was the falling as the knocking at the door. For the dispute along and the customer under with the sorrow for the hand. Merry go for the merry go round for the view. But they have the step for the rosemary to stand. I come sorrow with enoughness. Borrow that for the heart for the dispute the merry go round. Can sorrow for that. The beat upon my door for the knocking. Little enough for the tap, but you can find that hill creeping, 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 find it down and resting just to be the shell of plate and find it plenty enough to know that I can never chill. I knew you never would and never will. Are my heartbreak. Tell me, your beauty is of the dusk or the dawn. Secrets enough to fulfill prayers. You have that in the night I couldn't see right. There's a horizon of the seashore. Who can see more at night? Pity me because of the light of the day. Tell me that's my heart right there. It was romantic enough to be your love song. Forming that formation. Same patterns, repetitive enough to find that it's still hard for the beauty from wherever it grows, and I can find that. Night at the sea, sure, the moments are to me, and this will be the moment you are. Not mindful of your actions, and how they affect me. For the words on paper should shall define and find a departure. For the day was never telling apart. For the day was the wandering of the heart. For the day I find myself again, holding the key for the be more. Excellent enough for the round to the numb. Broken dark for the moonlight. Spent enough for the out the station. Shelving up the only for the weeping hour. For this is somewhat that you can never see me weep. But this will be the path of my love. Like a flower for the love. The fear for the death of the end. Or more for the sleep in the sheep. Droops that for the moment for the beholding of the dismay. When we're on the pedal, she should be late. Fine. You know, misunderstood. But who was looking in my direction? Who was the cause to my affection? Can you clean up my house and just to make up for the mistakes given enough? Never breaking the heart that you used to find that clean up crew anyway for the moment you are to me. And this will be the moment for never had for the heartache for the loss. The hoarding of the heart for the holding of the what you can find. Pity my heart, it was because of that light in the day. Oh, stay longer, walk, sky. Pity me, beauty, passed away. Feel thick, years go by. And pity my heart for the wanting of the moon. Every time goes out to see, man desires life. Hush, so soon, longer, look with love. Me, this I've known. Always love more than wild blossoms to win. Sail, then tides tread, shifting shore history. Need for the wreckage of the gathering. Get the gift of the pity me for the heart for the slow to learn. For the disbeat, the swift in the mind, beholding it every turn that I make. Every move, every breaking, it's akin to the sorrow. Borrow my heart and never give it back. For it was the falling of the knocking at the door. For the dispute along and the customer under with the sorrow for the hand. Merry go for the merry go round for the view. But have the step for the rosemary to stand. I come sorrow with enoughness. Borrow that for the heart for the dispute the merry go round. Can't sorrow for that. The beat upon my door for the knocking. Little enough for the top of that you can find that hill creeping, 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 find it down and rest. And this will be the shell of plate and find it plenty enough to melt that. I knew you never would and never will. Fulfill prayers, you have that in the night I see right. It was a horizon of the seashore. Who could see more at night? Pity me because of the light of the day. Tell me that's my heart right there. It was romantic enough to be a love song. Forming that formation. Same patterns, repetitive enough to find that's still hard for the beauty from wherever it grows, and I can find that. Night at the sea, sure, the moments are hard to me, and this be the moment you are. Not mine for your actions, and how they affect me for the words on paper should shall define and find a departure for the day was never telling apart for the day was wandering of the heart for the day of myself again, the holding of the key for the be more, excellent enough for the brown for the numb, broken dart for the moonlight, spin enough for the out the season shall remember the only for the weeping hour for this is somewhat that you can never see me weep with the just to be the path of my love like a flower for nothing, the fear for the death of the or more for the sleep in the sheep, droops that for the moment for the beholding and the dismay when where on the pedal she'll be laid. Clean up my house and just to make up for the mistakes given that you never breaking the heart for the to find that clean up crew anyway for the moment you are to me and this to be the moment for never had for the heartache for the loss rewarding of the heart for the holding of the what you can find that's the depth of the broken of the dark there were that man for the bullseye and you never see me fear for the death for the never to sleep enough for the drooping of the moment for the beholding of the what was dismayed for the wind for the beat the pedals and she'll be late in dirt for the burial dismissal. Sorry for that word. Sorry for the word. Break up and vex to love. This is the big book for the subject of the read for the cover for the beach. Herbs are not for the mouth for the brink. Brink of the soul for the never to tell you what you think for the speed enough for the fine craft. The soft slide enough for the catch me reading for the anymore for the calling the wife for the pattern by that be divine and knocking of the Lord. I push that door for the someday for the same. Bright that for the not too many to be storming for the shall be done and nothing you can whistle for me. I able to hear. Find a harvest of beauty wherever it grows. Surprised to be the fools, forgotten that for the ditching of the month. You find a rust and oil for the half of the city, for the throwing yourself at the empty tin, enough for the be the sponge. I find a pupil with the green, it shows enough for the inhabitant for the desire for the place yourself for the.
She walks in the beauty of the night, cloudless climes, starry skies, and this to be the best of the dark for the bright, for the beating her in the aspect for the eyes, and those for the middle for the tenor light. She walks in the beauty of the night.
She walks in the beauty of the night, cloudless climes, starry skies, and this to be the best of the dark for the bright, for the beating her in the aspect for the eyes, and those for the middle for the tenor light, which heaven you confront the day deny. Shade more and more and more for the ray, the less, and I have that and a half impaired for the nameless of the grace in which you wave, and that for the raven of the streets, and you can find the softly lighting over the face of this to be the thoughtless serene, sweet in an expression, and how pure for the dear dwelling place, and you can find a cheekbone for the brow or brown, softened over the calm, the eloquent but enough of the smile that went tense and glow till the other day for the goodness to spend. Mind at peace, but it was all bent, been below for the heart who was the love is innocent enough. It was a scent that I could smell, the recall for the fragrance, and you really were fragile, fragile, destruction, dedication. You really arrived into the scary skies and created immense, and you could find a romantic enough for the deviant, melancholy for the hunted, the secret guilt, which you find that scene. It was never that relationship that sank. Who was to think? Maybe some other sky, maybe someday, maybe some other ocean seashore for the breast against that for the penny eyes, and I love that rose away for exchange blows of the faction need that island for the trembling of the glow. And the dead is truth if anyone wanted to stay awake for the see-through end with her, and I could find that garden and gladiator for the goon of the skeleton, enough for the ashes. Speaking of a death for forgetting always, and ask me again for the holy mouth, and I can hide a hard hand for the play like, and I can find a hard hat. Play that for the symbol, symbolizing my heart right there. I can find a metaphor. It was my heart, don't mess with that. Right there for the don't even play with this would be the part right there for the only the words to find the okay for the start of me right there. I can find the end. Don't push me to come to shove, and this would be the what way may find the divine life for her right there for the coming of the road for the love to pray for this to be the right or the wrongs. Or there's no difference between the two. One to find that short breath for the maybe under some other sky I can find. predominant duality. That is my heart. Who gave birth to my heart and my joy? Don't start bringing about my heart and joy. It was the part when you took it and tore it apart. And the fractures and need that island in the way to trample the groove, the growth, the find and stay, the wait for the just to see the end with you, for the find, the gladiator for the doom. And this would be the holy mouth for the hard hand. Now I had to find a hard hat, hi-hat. Who was stoned enough for the bristle, for the penny eyes, and who loved that rose to the ways before, for the exchange that blow. Fracture, who needs that island anyway? Maybe under some other sky you could find us. Birth of my heart, trapped in the foundation, but you weren't seeking alleviation to find that notebook for the who to tell the story wrong, for the definition here to hear lover and over who waits and this to be the black note for the generous and the who beloved, for enough of the merited time to never feel ashamed, for the astonishing enough to feel asleep and fall asleep between my heart. I pledge a way to sit up in my coffin, a vow, reconstruction I won't explain. Who is the story of defining the moments of the mouth tells, the soul, the stories of the cast you stale for the stolen heart, for the spoon you say the gag, yo, I can find the morning shook with the worst. Way to find a love song for the mirrors, it was dark in my lower. The inconsistency for the truth and witness and never the bridge of the world. To get over it, I find the morning for the flat, you can even see everything and it's not romantic at all. For it to blossom, to find the green, for the loving of the writing of everything, for the show go back and dip short, for the distance be said, to speaking of the love, for the just be after that and spoke again. Hit the meaning after because of the light, or maybe the delay for the deer from my beauty as it dusk. Tell me something, or tell me nothing at all, for the purple, the ribbons, and the blind eye for the hill, for the prayers you can find a kernel over the hustle, you can find a softer shadow of the blaze, and off the grass the seeds to come to flower, then to tell me my night wind bend. Tell me then, for the towards me, a ripple past your shore, for the catching of the soul what you send. You bent me backwards enough to bend in a bind behind my back. Reaping what you sow for to be the dust of the storm, and ending it with the eye for the needle for the reacher. What you sow for this to be the rumbling in the night. Can find the stretching of the clapping of the striking your ears, the flipping of the blubber for the bitten by the sun. Bleeding rain dripping like rain for the golden honey. Enough of the sweet for the earth flying over the thunder. You wonder why you banked in that cold. It was a cold heart, rambling over the words and never making sense. That storms to end soon. That luminous night, you find a shady from the eye shadow. When the summertime sun has gone to awaken.
The sheep walks in the beauty of the night. Cloudless climes, starry skies. The sheep walks in the beauty of the night. Cloudless climes, starry skies. The sheep walks in the beauty of the night. Cloudless climes, starry skies. And this to be the best of the dark with the bright, for the beating her in the aspect for the eyes, and though for the mellow for the tenor light, which heaven you can find the day deny. Sheep.
How do you seem to keep that? How do you seem to keep that pain buckled down and can't find the trimmer inside this to be the mute for the matter for the being and find the extravagant enough for the shiver and being. You didn't know they never come back. And that's my heart right there that remains. We used to say that. What's my heart right there for the triumph of the little girl, for the lady, how to make it all look easy. She could be the dragon, the matter, but never or not for it to be the being. Correct and not for the apparatus around that corner for the particular way for the to be the quick for the dissolution for the cool, no single gain, no gain, no break in the entity for the single to not mistake. Being made for the suffering to try to contain. Infinite in that language for the refusal for the intoxicating for the mass. This be the love for the being only your presence for the inability for the only the you can kind of constitution for the broken image. Caress this for the permission. Submerge this is bigger than better, than bigger and bigger for the tremor for the infinite allowance in you to be the catalog for what you can never be disappeared. Find that song, it was weird, the heart surgeon to reveal that small rift that wear head like crack. You got enough of a small fountain where you drink from. It's true enough, and I can never smile and admit it doesn't mean enough of the myth. You find that song, hard to recall. The heart shows no signs of it all. Slow to remain, small rifts into that crack. Stretching out of the skin, flaunting enough for the scarf to show your blood with the bone. Ledges with you hold tight for the rain, still moves that bend for the breaking of the flight for the first of the bleeding to earn. needle for the finger, for the wrapping of caress and your bone, for the salvation of the sight, for the beyond that hope. Behold the beauty for the last, and that for the outlast itself for the curtain. Calls that for the ovation, or standing of that for the seeds at the beginning, for the end of the way, for the center stage to be above, for the fracture for the heart, for this to be the sun coming in the silence, and this to be the dark. Listen to that raindrop, if it's too hard to find a window pane. It's too late to repair anything. Repair of anything, it was the climbing, and after the who's to find the climbing, the one for the others to find us, supposing there's something else of the worst, and we can let go. Found a song in my head. To say it better, it appears to be a translation. The hurt calls salvation, standing in the forefront, heart showing no signs. And I find that science and reliance of you for the resemblance of you. Find a similar for the way that formed upon the poem, for this to be the only way to let go. I suppose something else, in other words, we can't let go. Suppose that for the other words, and everybody find that for the figure of the speech, for this to be the thick on the ground, for the mountains it presented itself with the one word at a time, with the far between a body had to keep an eye out, look out for the fire with the dust, or else if you're chancing somebody for the nobody, for the fair at all, for the care about it, for the able to be the metaphor, for the even the smile and like it or not, for this to be the mountain pretty enough for the much of letting go, for the between the body, for the only the musing and the going to one step at a time. Even lose yourself to someone else who's staring at their feet, for the this to be the body, for the never to move the speech, and this is somebody that can never happen, the hoping to bust it. You can find that door with the over the mountain, catch no ride, worse for the luck of the mountain to require, climbing over the foot, for the after that, for the another, for the nothing else you would give up, but this would be the session, occurrence of that be the wild, and nobody can tell you otherwise, and so we'll simply over the figure, struggled enough for the crying of the song, for the burden for the over you to be the 2 feet for the saying otherwise and lose your, what you don't care for. I find that hard to go to bed hungry enough for the yearning. Still that for the cove, for the price at the pot, for the shrine to find it before the moon rises. And you can find that pineal sleep, and this will be the falling of the over the heart for the surgeon. You can find that revealing over the small bricks, and you can have an offering no head for this to be the what was misread. It's bloody. Like the heart for the coming over the cinnamon to you can find it. My heart be the surgeon, but it doesn't breathe. My chest and got it. Hauling over the corner like a triumph of a little girl. She's never gonna come back, and I hate to find that triple inside of me. I'm mute enough for the matter, for the mate, for the instinct, for the sugar of being. I am that cold-hearted. My dear departed. That brings that song to the bright strive, steadfast and passionate enough to be a sheep. Moved to the shepherd for the wandering alone. He gets a cloud for the dream within the dream. I find that similar enough for the love. Shall run. Fair with the will, but the only the love of the fair will. I've come again to these 3,000 miles, and I'll wait. How to use that smile in the metaphor. It could be the after, the water, for the really, I can find an anatomy for the settlement, but the war, it would be that for the cavern. Find a wretched soul for the dog like you. Known enough to find that name for the hole, for the corner, for the trying enough for the human, for the boss, for the prying unseen, for the value lurking, for the lie you straight. Castle's great and out to that moon. Right for the nighty wait, for the wonder it could wait for you crew. Prayers do find that honest woman, for the herd that bone. Coming for the over, the coming over, the heavy groaning. This be the windy winter night. Stars shot down, skinning for the light. Although you stood in sight, for this be grudging of the book, you can find the shaking of the squatter, but enough the drink of the whistling of the wings. Wings, I find that word warlock, for this to be the hacking of the soul. Distant enough to go over, counting your treasures. Yet the bill, guide me, fond enough to cruise. Instant made, but no worth allowed. Just a bit for the this be the dissolving of the what you can find, and what for the keeping of the what the haunting of the ford. And you can afford that for the direction over their destruction. Must that wait for the mischievous, like a monkey for the deluding of the eyes, and the slow you find you sunken yourself in a stranger not to tell for this to be the gorilla, but enough for the whipping of the soul to go your hair. Love is first for the pair, sweet for the fragment, enough for this one to find a shady bow. Paradise and incognito for the infant, we can be the basic running over the skeleton. Hard enough for the fish find a tongue, wicked enough for the musicality. Doing yourself at the rehearsal. Doing it this time, not for the beat of time, for the prosing of the rhyme. Still the thing for the pharaoh, well, or pharaoh. Will you ever find the mic? Still for the stake. What causes you make after that water come through? The needle of the eye flowing so tender for the song and the praise. You can find the essence for the murmuring of the stream. Disturb not for the dream. Whistling like a blackbird for the thorn for the thin star charge you to distance for the disturbing and the slumbering of the fair. Sweet afternoon. For the neighboring hill, for the daily, for the wandering of the noon, for the rising high, for the flocking into the sweet, for the causing of the eye, for the pleasant wedding. Valleys below, wild with the wood. Below your way for the soft and sweeping over the leaf, for the breather bringing me the shade of I will marry you to me. For the crystal stream enough for the how lovely, yeah, glass of the wind. Residing where in the garden, the sweet flowers and you stand clear of the way. Theme song for the lane. Find out where the merry sleep is that for the murmuring and the scream, for the gentle enough for the disturbing of that dream is awakened, disturbed. From the distance of a song and the fond of a kiss, I can reminisce of the coming of that. For the deep in the heart, for the bringing of the tears and pledge, who provide the fortune for the grieving of who, cheerful enough for the twinkling of eyes like me, for the despair for the beneath. You can find that partial for the enough for the love for her, for the love for her, for the love forever, for the never, the new and the sad enough, for kind and never the blind, and never the never the party, for the never been broken hearted enough, for the will, for the term, for the first, the fairest, and the order, the wheel. And dearest enough for the peace and enjoyment, for the love and pleasure, for the fondling of a kiss of living to be the server, for the farewell, for the forever, for the deep in the heart, for the ringing of tears and pleasure. Warning signs grown. Use the wages for life. Wedge them. How I used to smile, that was the metaphor. Find the simile, melody, sweetly played in that tune for this to be the last. Deep still, my dear, for you can find it aim dry, still like a gate. Sans life, she'll ruin you with the buckets of the tears and will come again. Though it was there for thousands of miles away, it felt like that red rose. Read me wrong. Red enough for the burn, more for that for the thing. Who wrote that for the red rose and you were ready to be wrong? It was the slander enough for the skin, for the you can find that lousy ways of